There was a time when Elias believed joy had to be loud. Loud success. Loud laughter. Loud proof that he was doing well. He lived in a coastal city where glass buildings caught the sun and reflected ambition back into people's eyes. Elias worked in logistics, moving things from one place to another. Boxers, containers, numbers, deadlines. Growth. People said he was doing well. He owned a modern apartment. He had a calendar full of meetings. He had keys, a many of them hanging heavy in his pocket. Yet every night, when the city quieted, something inside him stayed restless. Joy, he noticed, visited him only briefly, like a guest who never unpacked. Elias didn't call himself unhappy, but he felt crowded. Crowded by objects, crowded by expectations, crowded by a version of himself he no longer recognized. The more he owned, the more he protected. The more he protected, the less he rested. It wasn't the work that exhausted him. It was the maintenance of everything. One evening, during a blackout, the city went silent. No screens, no lights, no notifications. He lit a candle. In that half-darkness, something strange happened. His breath slowed. His shoulders dropped. For the first time in years, nothing was asking him to be more. Elias didn't quit his life overnight. He didn't disappear. He didn't reject society. He simply began removing what was unnecessary. First, subscriptions. Then furniture. Then commitments that no longer felt honest. Eventually, he accepted a short-term caretaking role at a rural Retretan old hillside property with gardens, olive trees, and silence that felt wide instead of empty. He packed one bag. That was all. Life there moved differently. Morning came with birds, not alarms. Work meant tending soil, fixing fences, cooking simple meals. Elias earned no salary, only food, shelter, and time. At first, it frightened him. Then, it softened him. He realized how little he actually needed to live comfortably. A jacket when it was cold, water when he was thirsty, conversation when loneliness arrived, and real joy began appearing quietly. Not as excitement, but as ease. There was a garden behind the house, old, uneven, unimpressive. Some plants bloomed wildly, others dried, curled, and fell away. Elias learned not to interfere too much. You don't force growth. You don't rush seasons. Even decay had beauty. The dried stems caught the light just as gently as the flowers once did. Nothing apologized for being what it was. One afternoon, alone in a small room, Elias stood in front of a mirror. Not to judge, not to improve, just to look. He didn't search his face. He looked into his eyes. And what surprised him wasn't perfection. It was familiarity. He recognized himself again. Not successful, not impressive, but true. When Elias eventually returned to the city, people noticed, not because he owned less, but because he carried himself differently. His face had softened. His laughter came easier. He listened without rushing to reply. He still used money, still lived in the world, but the world no longer owned him. We think joy will arrive when we have more time, more money, more security. But often, joy waits quietly for us to let go, to choose enough, to choose presence, to choose ourselves honestly. Because in the end, what we truly carry is not what we owned, but how lightly we learn to live.